Hello, it's Caroline here from The Joyful Doctor. Today on Let's Talk About, I wanted to share with you the 5 key people that you can talk to if you're a doctor and you're struggling. I've struggled many times as a doctor with my mental health, with my physical health, with life problems just happening. Right, we're all human, and we all struggle sometimes. And often, when we're struggling as a doctor, we feel so isolated and so afraid, and so we just don't know who we can go to, who we can turn to, who we can safely talk to. So I just want to share with you the 5 top people that I would think about or consider sharing with when you're struggling as a doctor. Please hold on to the end because the 5th one's the most important one. So the first one is to tell somebody you know. So somebody in your immediate circle, like your friends or your family. So somebody that you love and you trust. Someone that isn't linked necessarily to your work, but just but knows you. But you know that you know and that you trust. Because if you start by telling somebody that you have already got that kind of connection and trust with, then you're much more likely to be able to say what's really going on for you. So I would really start by thinking about just telling somebody in your inner circle. The next person I would think about telling is somebody to do with your work. So let's say it depends what kind of doctor you are and where you work, but you will have loads of like structures around you, whatever kind of doctor you are. So if you're a trainee, for example, you might have your educational supervisor or your training program director. If you're a GP, you might have your practice manager or your lead GP for the practice, or look further afield, there'll be other bodies you're attached to, like royal colleges or groups of interested doctors that you belong to, or maybe there's a Facebook group of doctors you belong to, or something like that. But there'll be groups out there that are attached somehow to your work, to your to what you do, there'll be somebody in that. And what I would suggest is it's not so much about finding the person in the right job and the right role to talk to. It's about finding that person that you feel you can be honest with and open with, and just share that you might be having a bit of a struggle at that moment, and look out for those people in your life. Right, just gravitate towards those people that you know you can go to and you can share with, and they will give you support. So that's somebody in your network, or your like friends and family, somebody that maybe you work with. And the next group of people you could think about sharing with are professionals. So as doctors, we have access to just the same number and amazing array of professionals that everybody else does. So that's people like your GP, or even community mental health services, or the crisis lines that are out there, like things like the Samaritan, or the charities like Sane or Mind, or we can access those just like any other person. Okay, so that's the third one. So reaching out to some sort of professional if you think that might be helpful, or you're struggling. The 4th person that I would think about maybe talking to or reaching out to is those people that are out there that are specifically out there to help doctors who are struggling. So that's people like us at Joyful Doctor, right? Get in touch at teamjoy@joyfuldoctor.com, or people like the Practitioner Health Programme in England, where if you're any doctor in England, you can self-refer yourself to the Practitioner Health Programme and be seen to get free and confidential support. So that's the 4th group of people I would think about. Those of us that are out there, that are specifically out there to help support doctors who are struggling at the moment. And the 5th person I would suggest you talk to if you're struggling, and this is the most important person, is yourself. Okay, that might sound a bit crazy coming from a psychiatrist to advise you to start talking to yourself, but we all talk to ourselves all day long, right? In our heads, we're all having like conversations with ourselves. We're all sort of commenting on our day-to-day life and what we're doing. Oh, I did that well. Oh dear, I could have done that better. And it's really important when you're struggling that you're aware of the kind of conversation you're having with yourself, because that can make it so much harder or so much easier. Okay, so yesterday I had a great example. Middle of the day, busy day, I started to get these really negative thoughts going on in my head, these little chattery negative thoughts. You might get them yourself. They're kind of, oh, you didn't do that very well, oh, you're not doing this very good, or oh, I shouldn't do that, or but I was able to notice that, and because I noticed I was saying that to myself, I was able to say, actually, Caroline, come on, be a bit nicer to yourself. You can act like a friend, right, to yourself when you're struggling. So I was able to say, okay, you've got some negative thoughts at the moment. That's all right. Just kind of carry on doing what you're doing, and they'll pass. And it made it so much easier because then get sucked down into that horrible cycle. So those are the 5 key people I would think about talking to if you're struggling. Someone you trust and love that's in your network, your friends and family. Somebody that's maybe linked to your work in one of the areas where you work, or one of those networks that you belong to that's full of people that get it, who know what it's like to be a doctor and who've probably struggled themselves. Someone in a professional status, so maybe a GP or a therapist or counsellor, or somebody like that. And then 4th is the kind of specialist support for doctors. So those of us out there, like the Practitioner Health Service, like the Doctors Support Network, like Tea and Empathy Facebook group, like all of these wonderful things that are out there that are all listed on our website at joyfuldoctor.com under useful resources. All these wonderful free and confidential places where you can go and you can get the support you need from people who really do get it and are specifically there to help doctors who are struggling. And then finally, thinking about that 5th and most important person, yourself, how you're talking to yourself when you're struggling. So important. So those are the top 5 people I would think about and who you can talk to if you're a doctor that's struggling. If you feel like any of this has resonated for you, if you feel like you want some help and support and need to speak with anyone, please get in touch with us at Team Joy at joyfuldoctor.com. We will very happily signpost you to free support. We also offer wonderful one-to-one coaching from our Joyful Doctor coaches, if that's something that might just help you through your struggles at the moment. And there's our online courses as well if you want to have a go at one of those. That's me doing lots of videos and things like this with loads of tips and exercises and wonderful things specifically designed to help doctors who are struggling or who are perhaps just wondering what to do next in their careers. So please check all that out at joyfuldoctor.com, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.